Action. So it's 9 o'clock, I'm 20 minutes out of bed, I've got 2 hours until college, but what am I here to talk about? The Scottish Cup semi-final draw. Of course I am. It was made last night and there was some interesting ties given. Obviously this is now going to Hampden, now the semi-finals of course, and I'm here to talk about it despite how bedhead I am and how tired I actually am ahead of going to college. So, I mean, I'm no moaning, but I'm showing a bit of loyalty here. So, the Scottish Cup semi-final draw, my reactions to it, let's go. Enjoy the video. So last night after Partick Thistle took on Hearts at Firhill where the game ended in a 1-1 draw, the semi-final draw was made of course, and that pipped Partick Thistle or Hearts against Inverness at Hampden and Aberdeen or Rangers versus Celtic at Hampden. Now, I think this is probably the best two ties that could have been put together. It now means that a championship side will be destined for a trip to Hampden. Of course, Inverness are now definitely through, and Partick still have a chance even though they did play horrendously last night until they scored their goal. But overall, I think it's a very good draw. As I said, the championship element of it, where a championship side could still realistically get to the final of the Scottish Cup, and for a team like Inverness who are only less than 30 years old, that's a triumphant kind of turnout for them considering they were in the final only a couple of years ago and obviously won the Scottish Cup. So could they repeat the feat again? Are you joking me? Jenny's alarm's going off and I'm stuck over here. Do iPhone alarms ever turn off? Like, I literally need to climb over this desk to get to that. And I didn't want to. I mean, you couldn't say they wouldn't wake you up in the morning, so... Jenny! Well, she's not answered either. Hey! Sorted. What a palaver. What a palaver. So anyway, back onto the real stuff. This draw, as I said, is quite a pleasing one for me. The last one I did was obviously the quarter-final reaction to that draw, and I thought that was quite a pleasing one as well because it pipped Partick Thistle and Hearts together, Inverness and Ross County, and it meant that championship sides had a chance and it wasn't them just getting pipped against the best sides or whatever. So it's a pleasing one for me again, this one, because as I said, the element that a championship side, even one like Partick Thistle who are obviously struggling this season and haven't had much to shout about, they've now got a realistic chance, even though it's still quite slim because they need to go to Tynecastle before they can get to Hampden, but they still do have a chance of getting there, and it just makes this kind of stuff really good, I think. And then obviously the other tie, Aberdeen and Rangers versus Celtic. The replay for Aberdeen and Rangers is going to be at Ibrox of course, and that'll be another interesting tie as well. I don't think it'll get shown on TV because it oh, my voice is like just out of bed. I think the replay, obviously being at Ibrox, it'll be not shown on TV because the Champions League will come in between it and not allow it to be shown on TV for rules and regulations purposes and stuff like that, so it'll be a bit of a bam, they'll be able to see it, but whoever gets through to play Celtic in the semi-final, they'll make it a good game for them, because even though Aberdeen in recent times they have played Celtic at Hampden and it's not exactly worked out for them, I believe there has been a couple of times where they have made it difficult for Celtic, and if I'm not wrong, I think the last time Aberdeen and Celtic were pipped off against each other in the final, they actually did relatively well against Celtic that time. So it'll be interesting, obviously, if Rangers can get through. It's another Glasgow derby to look forward to seeing and see how Rangers can react to obviously their previous result against Celtic where they won that game. And aye, it'll be an interesting one regardless who wins that one, because it's obviously three of the biggest sides in Scotland currently, and it's what you want to see. It's what you want to see when you've got Partick Thistle or Hearts v Inverness, where you're pitting the underdogs off against a team like Hearts and then seeing who can get through to the final. And if a championship side can do that, it's fantastic, and increase their revenue for the season after that, and there comes a lot of positives with that. And then pitting the biggest sides off against each other, that's fantastic as well. Of course, the draw should be a kind of luck of the draw sort of thing, so I'm not saying that these draws were like fixed or anything like that, but the way they've fallen is fantastic to me. I think it's just a really interesting thing for Scottish football. I mean, I'm up early to come and talk about this, and maybe it's just a bit of a basic opinion to come on a video and actually chat about, but I felt like I wanted to come out and at least give my opinion on it, because it is a big deal in Scottish football. Obviously the Scottish Cup is our national competition, just one of the biggest things that you can possibly win, and for teams like Inverness, Partick, and obviously all the other teams to still be involved and still have a real big chance of actually getting to the final and winning the competition, it's just fantastic to me. So let's add a bit of a different element to this. Based on what I've just said, the last word for the Scottish Cup semi-final draw: satisfying. I might as well give a prediction or two for these, and I'm going to go with Partick Thistle or Hearts first, because that's obviously the replay. I think Hearts will win that one, so then it'll be Hearts v Inverness. And I don't actually want to turn down Inverness and like go against them, because I feel like they are being a bit of the underdogs. I predicted Dundee United to go to Hampden to face off against whoever, and in this case it would have been Partick Thistle or Hearts, but Inverness pulled off the victory at Tannadice, and is it going to be their year to kind of shock us all? Who knows, eh? I'm going to stick my neck out on the line and say Inverness if it goes to Hearts or Inverness at Hampden. And we'll see how that one turns out. And then the other tie, Aberdeen or Rangers. I think, I mean, it's a tough one, because Aberdeen will want to go on to another final. Rangers will want to be keeping up their hopes of winning some sort of trophy this season. If it's not going to be the Scottish Premiership, and it's already not the Betfred Cup, then they need to look to it being the Scottish Cup, and their only chance, of course, is beating Aberdeen in this replay. So I'm going to say Rangers in the Aberdeen v Rangers game. And then when it goes to Rangers v Celtic, it's just a tough one. You can't call that. Let's just say it'll go to a draw, it'll go right through extra time and go to penalties, and then it's just a lottery. And that's what I'll predict. I'm not going to predict any team to win, because it's just such a tough one to predict, because both teams will want it just as much as the other. So there's my predictions, and there's my thoughts on the whole draw. Let me know what yours are in the comments below. Like the video if you did enjoy it, and subscribe for more of this type of content. And until the next video, which will be Punt It Long on Wednesday, I'll see you then. Cheers guys.